For 2 days, the 7-bench judge that fizzled down to 6 sat and had submissions in the now historic presidential petition case, and the verdict when it came was monumental, not just for the judiciary's landscape, but for the country's democratic space as well.
The declared results invalid, null, and void.
While that verdict may have caught both the petitioners and the respondents by surprise, analysts believe that the indications that it would go the way it did was spread out during the presentations, and the markers could be gleaned from the interest of the judges in certain sections of the submissions. One of the areas where the judges spent a considerable amount of time questioning was the issue of stray ballots.
The argument, is that the votes cast, the total votes cast for the president were more than those cast for the governors, for example, for the women representative, for example. It's not a question of a president getting more than the governor or what.
A huge number of people voted for president and say senator, and for governor there was very little voting. And those are some peculiar habits of our voters. Polling date, my lords, it is common ground.
The assumption is we will be given all 6.
Yes, you're given all 6.
And you want to vote for only one candidate?
Yes.
Where do the other 5 ballot papers go? It's a very simple question.
True enough, you are given 6 ballots. You are given 6 ballots, but there is no corresponding obligation that you must vote for all the 6.
Even with the color coding that the ballot boxes have and the ballots themselves have, room is still created for what your ladyship correctly called the stray ballot, which is a correct ballot placed in the wrong box.
What we are asking,
yes,
where do those 5 go? How are they accounted for? It's a simple question.
Oh yes.
They're not stray.
No, they're not stray.
They can only be stray if they have found themselves through in the wrong ballot box.
And that's the point.
Okay. So they're not stray. So you still remain with 5.
Yes.
Where do you put them? You carry them away?
No.
How are they accounted for?
No, and that's the point I'm making. You vote. You vote for one, and vote for the second, and vote for the third. You have 6. Yes.
It took a record for lawyers to attend to that question, but still not to the satisfaction of the bench.
When you're given 6 ballot papers, you need to mark each and every one of those papers with your choice of the person that you're voting for.
It wasn't just that ballot paper that had the judges probing the respondents' case. The issue of security of the results transmission forms 34A and 34B was also scrutinized, especially in light of the REBC's ICT report.
That there were no security features required on these forms?
It is not a requirement of the law.
It is not a requirement of the law?
No.
But did these forms have security features?
Yes.
So meaning, if they had, they all should have.
Abundance of caution.
The same questions were raised of the tallies of some constituencies like Nyali and Kisauni, where the returning officers did not sign the requisite forms. The dissenting judges also had their voices heard in the court. Justice Jackton Ojwang interrogated the petitioner's video evidence.
We agreed that this is not a dying declaration. Therefore, you should say something about its evidentiary strength.
While Justice Njoki sought clarity on some of the pieces of evidence presented by the president's legal team.
Perhaps you are grey-haired and perhaps not .com. Perhaps the .com member of your team can properly describe what is it that was presented for the record.
Although the petitioner's case was also scrutinized by the bench, many legal experts believe that these questions may have been the point at which the tide turned and may have informed the decisions taken by 4 of the 6 judges to invalidate President Uhuru's victory. Brenda, Wanga, NTV.